my buddy Troy in Salt Lake City, who owned an RV place, told me to take and bang your hand against that. I can't reach it. But you know, kind of knock on the walls and stuff within the cabinets, because that's where those kind of issues kind of hide. And so right there looks pretty bad. If we kind of come over here to this cabinet and open it up, you can see the same thing here. The wallpaper is kind of coming down up there a little bit, but the roof's still intact, or the ceiling. It's just the wallpaper's pulling apart a little bit. Hey everybody, this is David with Tigner Adventures, and here comes another video on the diesel pusher that we picked up. So you can check out our playlist. We have a number of videos that we will be posting on this as we work to get everything fixed up that has issues. Okay, this rig is 30 years old, and some people would say you're crazy to buy a 30-year-old rig, but hey, the price is right on older rigs, so, and they're built better than the newer ones, so it's well worth spending the money on an older rig if you have the ability to fix things. And I love fixing everything myself. Pretty much if you plan on anyone else doing it, they always tend to do it wrong for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it's hard to find good people out there. And if I do it wrong, I can only blame myself. So that's kind of the motto we took when we built our house. We built a 5,500 square foot house, and I kind of figured that, hey, if something's messed up, I can just blame myself. So that's how that worked out, and I'd much rather have it that way. At least I take the extra time. I'm not trying to cut corners, and things like that. So in this video, we are going to be talking about, could be winterization, or just the fact we don't want any leaks. So we need to check around different areas, and some of these areas you guys probably don't even think about, but they're still very, very important. So let's show you some of this and see if we can't help you make sure that your rig is waterproof and that you're not going to have any leaks that ruin it. Now, before I get started on showing you the outside pieces, and we're going to work on it out there, I wanted to just show you some of the things that are telltales to having water issues. Now, this one up here, the liner is falling down, and one of the reasons that can happen is from water getting on it and getting all this foam up here wet, and then that puts pressure on it and the glue comes loose, and so that falls down. Also on this one, if I look right here, that actually moves, so something going on there. It could be that, and if I reach up under here, there's a big gap there compared to down at the other end. So I think some screws have come loose on that. But another spot that you can look is right inside this cabinet. So you can see that the liner there has pulled out from the wall itself, and the wall over here has got some bubbles in it. So there's definitely been some water issues just leaking in here a little bit. My buddy Troy in Salt Lake City, who owned an RV place, told me to take and bang your hand against that. I can't reach it. But kind of knock on the walls and stuff within the cabinets, because that's where those kind of issues kind of hide. And so right there looks pretty bad. If we kind of come over here to this cabinet and open it up, you can see the same thing here. The wallpaper is kind of coming down up there a little bit, but the roof's still intact, or the ceiling. It's just the wallpaper's pulling apart a little bit. So those are things that you need to look at when you're buying a used rig from anybody, because I don't know what it is, but people do not take care of rigs that they buy. And if they were to take care of a new rig and make sure that it's all checked like we're going to do outside here, these rigs will last forever. But you just let a little bit of water damage into your rig and you can ruin a very good rig. This rig was over, it was like, what was it? I think it was $206,000 or $220,000 new. So back in '94, 30 years ago, $200,000 was a lot of money. And you know, it doesn't take a lot to mistreat your RV. All right, so I am on the outside again. I'm going to show you right here. You got this has been painted, but this has got some sealant on it, and you can see how it's cracked, which lets water in. Now down here along the bottom of the rig isn't necessarily as critical, but you know, it's still a good idea to not let water leak in anywhere within your rig. And this is going to affect the doors more than anything. What happens is then the door hinges and things start rusting because the water got down there. So every little bit causes issues. And then if you look around, this is a heater vent. The silicone around there is really good. Here's got a rubber gasket around it, so you want to look at that. And then if you look down right here, it's pulled away right here. So those are the things that we're watching here, and that goes for all these other little things, light fixtures and things. And don't forget to look down the sides also, because you'll find places that need to be fixed there too. Now along these windows here, on this one, since they have these awnings on them, look really good. And then up here, this is our little awning that's over the windows. It's got a little rubber piece here to help keep the water from going down in there. So just any place where we have a connection where it goes through the roof can cause issues. So this one, this is a rubber thing that fits over a strip that goes here that's connecting the difference between here. This is aluminum, and this is a, I think, it looks like this is aluminum up here too. So anyway, it's screwed these pieces together, and they've got a piece that goes over this. This is rubber right here, and then water can get in behind here and start rusting out those bolts and things. Looking down here, we've got some separation right here. We just kind of go around that and just kind of scrape that off there. And see, we've just taken that off, and we can clean that up and fill that in. Worst case, best case is we just scrape it all off and redo it. Well, I had to switch to some sunglasses because, man, it is sunny out here in southern Arizona. So if you look here at this trim, you can see I've started scraping this off. All I'm using is a little flathead screwdriver. Where's the camera? Oh, there we go. You can see that I just slide along there and it just takes it off. And if I slide it along the metal here, it just kind of scoots right off there too. And all we're doing is pulling this out of there. Now, I don't like to use silicone. It looks like this might have been silicone, but the problem with silicone is that you can't paint it. But the lap sealant works really good too. And if you notice here, this is going over this little lip, so I'll show you here. I'll just kind of pull it out. I use a screwdriver. I'm just going to kind of pull that out there a little bit. And you can see that that's just a little lip right there. And most of the newer ones have the lip inside, so the plastic, you see this metal piece on the outside. But on specifically older units, the plastic goes all the way around and hides it. So when you push it on there, it's hid. But the problem is water can get in right here. So you need to, you know, seal that with something. Silicone is not paintable, and I plan on painting this, so I don't want to deal with that. Also, we looked at getting our other rig painted, and they said every place there's silicone, we can't guarantee the paint is going to stick. So a lot of people have started going away from silicone when they're winterizing their rig and stuff like that. That lap sealant lasts pretty good, and it is paintable. Just another shot at where this is all separating and how the water gets down into those joints and into your walls. So I'm going to just continue going all the way around here and taking this stuff off. You can see here as I was going across, there's a couple places that it just wasn't even stuck. It just kind of popped away from it. So those were the areas that were leaking or potentially leaking. So that's what we're trying to fix. All right, I've gone along the top of this all the way down here, and then if you look at this, you'll notice that this does not slide out of there like the other stuff. So right here is lap sealant, and it's real sticky, so it's not silicone, and it'll just come right out of there, but it's a whole different makeup, and so that's what we're going to use to do the whole piece along the top here. Okay, I started here. I am using self-leveling lap sealant. Nice thing about it is that it doesn't have to be perfect. Because it will just smooth out by itself. So I'm just taking a small edge and going right down this seam here. And the nice thing is that'll all level out there, so it works out pretty good. You can see that that is already looking pretty nice, and it's only been sitting there 5 minutes. So it'll look pretty good when it's all done, nice and smooth. And then we're going to paint the upper portion of this roof white also, so it'll kind of all match when we're done. Okay, well this is the next day, and this is looking really good up here. It's sealed up really nice. So then the other side, I have gone down this whole complete other side. It looks like this, and it looks really good. There's only this one real bad spot here that's kind of flaking a little bit, but just digging at it here, it doesn't go any further than right there, so that's okay. But where the awning hooks up here, we're going to go ahead and put some non-sag lap sealant here just to kind of fill in these spots right here so nothing leaks in there. Don't know that would make a lot of difference, but there is some screw holes there, so we want to make sure nothing's getting into those. All right, so we are done here, and it looks good. That won't change or anything because that's non-sagging, so that's what it's going to look like. But that seals that up, and I'm not sure that was really an issue because it's just clamping on that rail, so no screws go in right there, so it probably was fine. But at least this way we're covered, so we are good outside. Everything looks good. And this is what I kind of hate about silicone. People think that if a little is good, a lot must be better. I don't know what they're thinking here, but this looks like, you know what. Anyway, that'll have to be fixed too. And just in case you prefer to use silicone instead of lap sealant, here is a video of me installing our alarm system and how you want to do the silicone. So you put it on sparingly, not overly heavily, and then you spray it with soapy water and rub your finger around it, and you get this really nice finish. So that's the best way to do that. But anyway, that finishes our little video here on making sure we have everything covered so we don't get any leaks, and also gave you a little bit of information on how to check a unit out if you're looking to buy a used unit to see if you have any, because I can guarantee you that whoever's selling you something is going to tell you it doesn't leak at all. At least that's how it was when we bought Beulah. They said it doesn't leak at all, and it's like I reached up and the ceiling was all sagged, and I reached up and pushed on it like that, and water just poured out of the thing. So you get all kinds of stories out there. So anyway, hopefully this helped you out a lot. Thanks for coming along, and we will be working on the roof next. We need to get it prepared so that we can do the solar panels, and we need to put the coating on there so that it's sun reflective and helps keep it cool too, which I'm not sure. I think most of the roof's going to be covered with solar panels, but anyway, it's just getting it all taken care of so we don't have to worry about it in the future. So come along and follow us on checking those things out. Make sure you give us a thumbs up, and then subscribe, and then you'll get notified when those other videos come out. So thanks for coming along. Take care. Bye.